My billionaires and my millionaires, welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talks with Rosé. I'm your humble host as always, and I'm super excited to be here once again. So today we're going to be looking at something a bit different from the usual real estate matters. We're going to be talking about sales. So yes, my people who are in sales, this episode is for you, and you might want to watch it to the end. Do well to also share the link to this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for amazing content like this. Welcome back. Now let's quickly look at what we call sales. Sales spreads across different industries, not just in real estate. And I want us to look at sales holistically and what it means. Now, so what is sales to you? I'll tell you what sales means to me. To me, sales is an art. Art, as spelled as A-R-T. The act of selling and the act of closing a deal is called sales. It's not just the exchange or the buying and selling of items. It goes beyond that. The act of convincing a client, the act of having high emotional intelligence whilst having a presentation with a client, it goes beyond buying and selling. As a salesman, you should see yourself as the artist. So picture this. You have a canvas, an empty canvas, and you being the artist, you control the conversation. You paint from the beginning to the end of the conversation. You see the end from the beginning. That tells you you are a good salesperson. I'm not going to really dive much into sales today. I have another episode that you can watch on sales and selling. But I want to talk about something very important in sales that a lot of people miss, and that is called asking questions. Now, asking questions goes beyond just asking any questions. You have to ask the right questions. Asking questions will help you do 90% of your job, and I'll tell you why. Because it gives you the information you would need to know about your clients, the information you need to know about their interests, and their decision-making process, if they are in the market to buy for now, the kind of investment on property, or, any other industry. This is applicable to all industries that they are interested in or they want to buy. It makes your job easier. So we're going to be looking at the 3 different types of questioning techniques, how to use them, when to know how to use them, and how to apply them during your presentation. Now, we're going to be looking at the first one, which is asking tie-down questions. So asking tie-down questions is simply asking a client an already existing conversation just to get them to see if you are on the same page. For example, is investing in a property that gives you a good return of investment your priority right now, isn't it? And, they get the clients who agree with your statement to say either yes or no, right? So asking tie-down questions is a questioning technique that can be used during sales. Another questioning technique that you can use is asking open-ended questions. Now, why I particularly like this part is because open-ended questions will help you know your client's thoughts, to know what they are thinking, to know exactly what they want, right? This is beyond you trying to decipher, to say, oh, how do I know what this client wants? How do I know what is in their mind? How do I understand their train of thought? Asking open-ended questions will give you an edge for them to tell you everything that you need to know. And whilst they are communicating, you can take mental notes, you can jot down what you want to know, and from there you'll be able to channel your next question or channel your presentation to suit their need, their exact need, which they would have said to you while they were talking. So an example of an open-ended question is, okay, so sir or so ma, do you mind walking me through your investment decision process when you're about to make an investment decision in any property purchase? Or can you walk me through your your check boxes that you look out for when you're about to buy a property based on location, pricing, and all that. This will get them to talk and give you information to say, okay, so when I bought this property XYZ this period of time, these are the things I looked out for. Oh, okay, so before I buy, my wife has to be involved, or I have to speak to my wife, or I have to speak to my lawyer. So all these are information that you can then use and play to your advantage. I don't know if you guys are riding with me, right? So these are very important. They would help you close deals faster and easier. And lastly, let's look at the last questioning technique, which is drum roll, the close-ended questions. So close-ended, as the name applies, this is where you close the conversation, you bring the conversation to a close, you bring the presentation to a close. These questions will help you seal up the totality of this conversation and take the conversation from a presentation or a conversation, or take that prospect to a paying client. Now, let's quickly look at examples of close-ended questions. So, sir, having said all this, is there anything you would like to still know so that we can move forward and I'll do you the offer? Or, sir, how would you like to pay if we send you the offer today? Are you looking at next week, or are you paying immediately? These are questions that you're putting it in the mind of the client to say, I'm expecting payment from you. So I would like that you tell me now how you would want to pay, right? And if peradventure the client then hints or mentions something else that, it's not tilting towards the payment aspect, then you have an opportunity to address any concerns that they are still holding on to. I don't know if this makes any sense, right? So this brings me to the end of my nuggets on asking the right questions. So if you want to learn more, if you want to have a one-on-one session with me on understanding how sales work, how to close transactions, how to close deals, kindly send me a DM, reach out to me on my email as well. I'm available, I'm open, and then we can take this conversation to the next level. Until then, see you next time on Real Estate with Rosé. Please stay tuned and keep subscribing. Bye.